Thank you, Ivan.
So it's another good little bit of
thank you for thinking of us,
ingenuity.
Ivan.
Hang them upside down.
Hang them upside down.
If it's leaking enough, what can actually happen is you can drown in thin air.
Ow!
I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. Look at the beautiful stars, I wanna drive a faster car.
Hi guys, and welcome to this episode of Make or Break. On this episode of Make or Break, possibly these two episodes of Make or Break, we're going to be removing the front end. The front end of this car has been made up by Mark III, Mark IV.
I think it's Mark V Cortina, but with 5-stud hubs. So possibly P100, possibly Granada, but I don't think it's wide enough.
Right, okay.
But they are all
Chopped and changed,
very
similar.
cross members.
What we're assuming, by having a quick look, and I'm going to grab this camera here to show everyone, we believe, and this is a guesstimation, that this whole front end is unboltable. And we've got a bolt at the top here, and this whole area here will drop down, including our steering column and our kind of K-member, like you call that in a Mopar engine. Looks like the whole lot is going to come off as one. It does look like it's sat on this cross member here, but I can't really tell if it is bolted all the way through. It does look like it's bolted all the way through. It's got a big bolt here going through both sides. I actually even think that this whole front section, including the radiator, the pipes, everything is all mounted as one. What's your thoughts?
It looks that way. It looks like it's almost a prefabricated front subframe, front assembly, which just bolts to these top and bottom chassis rails. There's a few things that need to be disassembled and taken off, which I'm doing now, but hopefully, if we're lucky, or luckier than we have been so far, it should be a few bolts, a few pipes, steering knuckle inside, various other little bits and bobs, and it should hopefully lift off. So I will just say to the people that are watching, that are probably wondering if we're a little bit haphazard, we have done a few measurements. We've made sure that the wheelbase, we've got data for our wheelbase, and we've got data for our track width, trim height, and so on and so forth. So yes, we're unbolting the front end, and there's going to be nothing at the front end of the car, but we do have a data point of where it was. Yeah. So don't panic.
We have taken our measurements and thought about it before now. What you will notice is a lot of this car is already usable. You know, we do take into consideration that this car is already usable. We could just rebuild the engine, make it look pretty, paint it and put it back together. But what we've been saying from the beginning is about making it an actual race car.
Doing it justice.
Doing it justice. This car needs to look as pretty and drive. It already drives well, you know, but it needs to drive.
That's part of the conflict that we have with the front end of the car. Now, I own a Mark II Granada, and it drives lovely. And it's basically got the same front suspension setup as what this GT40 has got. And these sort of Cortina / Granada front ends are quite famous for having a really, really nice drive quality. Yeah. So it was one of those, yes, it's not the prettiest looking thing, but my God, this car would drive nice.
Yeah, you can see how Ivan drove this car to Le Mans.
Yeah, because it would have been comfortable, the brakes would have been good, it's got vented discs and so on and so forth. It's got, you know, it's got double wishbone suspension. You know, it would drive nice, but it just lacks that wow factor.
The je ne sais quoi.
If you say so.
I don't know what that means. Put it in the comment section below, people.
Yes. French to English translation. But it was a little bit of a conflict of, well, do we take it all right off, or do we try and utilise what's there? Because what's there
is already okay.
It's designed by Henry Ford. It works.
Yeah.
But sod it, we've got a Southern GT here that we can use as a little bit of a guide. Let's go mad and double wishbone it. And
I like that.
And put it on adjustable suspension and so on.
Make it so that if, you know, the driving style's okay, we want to take it out to the track and make that driving style better than okay.
More than okay. Precisely.
That was better. That was more good or English, that was.
More good or English, yeah.
Well, apparently...
my English teacher will be jumping up and down now.
More gooder. Well, apparently on Boyd Coddington's show, there was was an old dude that used to always make stuff, and he'd go, there you go, lad, more gooder, that's more gooder.
Oh, yeah.
God, I'm
Right.
struggling already.
I'm just going to whip these underfloor water pipes out.
No worries.
Because they protrude up into the floor.
Just here.
Yep.
So when we go to lift our front end off, we're either going to have to try and lift it and pull it forwards.
Yeah.
Or if I can just get these water pipes down slightly so that they drop down as we pull it forwards, it should just pull forward and down.
Yeah, got ya.
All being well, once the wiring's out and we've got our steering column uncoupled from our rack, and then these bottom bolts out, which should be at a point really where we can get those top pins out and lift her off. It's not going to take much.
No.
Brake lines are already uncoupled. Your hands are dirty.
Yeah, I'm actually getting involved.
Love it.
Blows the mind of y'all, right?
Not saying nothing. But you are a car salesman.
I am. But if I wasn't a car salesman, I wouldn't be able to afford to do this.
No, there is that.
These fans are
I've got
what
to use a thank for the 2 GT40s in my shed.
And Chris. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
So to all
Thanks,
you
Dyer.
lovely people at home, Chris's dad's funeral was amazing. By amazing, I mean it was as nice as it could be. Sorry, amazing would not be the nicest word to say. But
Fitting.
it was as lovely as it could be, I hear. So that is, that's what it's about, isn't it? It's about, you know, showing people a good seeing off.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
Right, so we've got a bit of a problem. So
Fans are hardwired.
fans are hardwired, then
Yes.
they're actually wired
Right.
properly.
I'll find a pen. If needs be,
Well, I'm pretty sure I was going to take all this shrouding off, but I don't really want to play around with the wiring
I
too
wouldn't
much.
mess around with it too much. If needs be, if you cut it here,
Yeah,
we'll just label those wires,
Yeah.
fans.
So basically, we've got a left and a right. It doesn't really matter too much because
No,
the
they're
length
both
of
they're both on the same
the
wires.
loom is smaller, so it's going to be fine. We're going to cut them, and we can resell
Are these
them.
our only fans?
No. So guys, check out our new OnlyFans page at Josh and Sam. Get oily together. Oh, you're going to get moist.
Oh, I'm wet.
Oh, we're going to have to get our own OnlyFans now.
Are we gonna get a warning from YouTube for this?
YouTube. Right, I'm going to have to undo this coolant temperature sensor that is...
Yes, fine. There's a rail of spanners behind you. Can I just have your side cutter so that I can get this?
Have you got a floating
Hoses off.
screwdriver?
Yes, but not over there.
Okay. Oh, that was
There
funny.
is,
We've got our own OnlyFans. I like that.
These are our only fans. That's good. There is a 7mm if you want to
Yeah, I'm
undo
just
V
going to
clips.
undo the coolant.
Or
temperature.
I'd just undo the union.
That would make so much more
Throwing
sense.
things on the floor again.
So guys, what I'm doing here is the coolant temperature sender, which goes to this nice coolant pipe, which is quite fitting really, because you want the coolant temperature sensor to be as close to the front of the engine as possible, just to make sure that you are getting circumulation, right?
Circumulation, yeah.
That's French, that is.
Is it?
Nope, I made it up. This is good.
Yeah, we'll replace that.
Bluetooth. Right. Okay.
Oh, that's a tight little one, that one.
Like a toiger. I'm going to take a camera and a torch on my cellular device, and I'm going to have a look
Microphone's wet.
at the steering column, which is really good. How, in God's name, is it connected? Looks like it is connected by a 13mm bolt.
By the look of it, what Ivan's done is he's taken a piece of the fiberglass hull and he's replaced it with a piece of tin, which is slot head machine screwed into the bulkhead, so that we can gain access to the knuckle from the outside.
Where's that then?
Just here.
Ow!
You were almost looking at it.
It's right there.
It's right there. I think if we take those 3 flatheads out,
Yes.
that panel will just lift away and it should expose the steering knuckle.
Okay.
He's
sorry.
evidently done that so that it can slot in and out,
Okay.
rather than dropping down.
I like that. Thank you,
So
Ivan.
it's another good little bit of
Thank you for thinking of us, Ivan.
ingenuity.
Right. Right, so I'm going to need a flat screwdriver, pretty please. If you've got one.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Muchas gracias, senor. This is all the air conditioning system, the horns. They all look quite well placed, actually. I'm quite impressed with how everything fits. It looks all right.
Yeah, it's all pretty good. There should be some aircon pipes that are going to need undoing. It's been drained. Don't worry about that.
We used the proper equipment to remove them because, guys, we understand the aircon gas is, what do they call it? It is harmful to the ozone layer. Not it's ozone depleting. The new gas, which is R1234YF9.
134A.
No,
R134A used to be R32.
Is this one. Yes. And then there's another gas, which is the new one, called R1234YF, which is a non-ozone depleting gas.
Well, what we in here was probably what 134A. It's heavier than air.
Yeah.
Which means that, so if you've got a pit like we've got under the Escort, the problem you can have is if you've got a car with an aircon leak.
Yeah.
And you're running it and you're trying to sort of figure out where it's coming from.
Yeah.
If it's leaking enough, what can actually happen is you can drown in thin air.
And then
the aircon gas is heavier than air and it fills the pit up.
And do you know the only way to save someone that has gas in them?
Hang them upside down?
Hang them upside down. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's
I don't know if it's true neither, but it sounds good. Sam Hard, busting myths and talking rubbish.
That's since 2022. Right, you are right. Look, there's a Ivan has truly
all these years of training are finally paying off, Sam.
Oh, thank you, mate.
Oh, I was talking about me.
Oh, no worries. So there is the knuckle which we can undo, which will allow us to remove the steering column as one big piece, which is quite nice.
Yeah, so the rack should stay with the front end, and it just should be a simple knuckle which will stay with the car, and then the rest of it can come away.
Right, so I'm going to get that on. I was quite literally ready to go home earlier, and now
look at us.
We're cooking on gas. So, guys, thank you for watching this episode of Make or Break. On the next episode of Make or Break, we're going to get the front suspension and the brakes all off of this car. But one last note for the day.
I would make some kind of joke about nuts, but I think we've got away with about as much as we can get away with for this
Only
episode.
fans and jokes about nuts.
Yes. And me laying down getting very wet.
Moist.